Hey everybody, today I'm going to be presenting a three-player playthrough of Feudum, and I'm going to be using the program I wrote that I first used in my tutorial video a couple days ago. If you are not at all familiar with how Feudum plays, I recommend that you watch some of that tutorial video so you have a sense of what's going to be going on in this playthrough today. Although for the purposes of people who are relatively new to the game, I will be explaining as I go along to some degree, but I'm not going to go into extreme detail. And I really want to keep this video moving along at a fairly brisk pace, considering the fact that my tutorial, which was intended to be slow and in-depth, but still, it lasted a long time. So this one I want to keep moving along. In order to do that, I've given each of the three players in this game a general goal. Red, for example, is going to go focus on feudums, which is one particular strategy. Blue is going to focus on farms and harvests, and pink is going to focus on outposts and epic voyage track, stuff like that. I think Pink wants to get as high on the epic voyage track as he possibly can. But like I said, I am going to keep this playthrough moving along, so I'm not going to be thinking too much. Believe me, it's hard enough when you're playing this game to think for yourself, let alone trying to think for three different players. It's a pretty heavy game, so I expect that I will be making plenty of mistakes along the way. Hey, why didn't you do this? You should have done that. Believe me, you can learn as much from mistakes as you can from watching good play. You're not watching this to see good strategic play at work. In fact, I generally think that you do better in this game if you have a more well-rounded approach as opposed to having very specific goals in mind. But that remains to be seen. Okay, I think we're good to go. So let's move along here. So Red got chosen to be the random starting player. Now remember, Red is our, I'll just put a little note here so that you guys can remember, and I don't have to keep reminding you. So Red is going to be into feudums. And Red now has to choose three starting goods, so I generally like to give myself a saltpeter as one of the first three starting goods. I'll also I'll give Red a sulfur to put in the wine barrel. I'm going to try to avoid he's and she's here too, because it just gets way too confusing. And because Red is interested in feudums, he will probably be upgrading some farms into towns, and therefore for that he's going to need some iron. So we'll give him an iron as well. Now Blue is going to be our farmer, and because of that, well, he's going to take a saltpeter and a sulfur as well, but because he might be upgrading outposts to farms, he will get an extra wood to start. And then finally, Pink, outposts and epic voyage track. All right, and Pink is going to select saltpeter, sulfur in the wine barrel. So to be different, I'll give Pink an extra food. Okay, so now we've come back around to Red, who has to place his first pawn on the board. So he knows he's going to have to be doing some form of combat at some point. And for that purpose, and maybe to keep the game from getting overly mean, I will focus on starve the people action, which is just a matter of knocking off somebody's subject or serf, as opposed to taking out one of their pawns or whatnot. So let's start with a noble, and I guess we'll start him right up at this town so that he's all ready to go to improve to his first feudum. And for blue's initial pawn, blue wants farms, so let's make him a farmer, because that'll help during harvesting. And I'll stick him at this farm in the middle of the board. For pink, I'll bring on an alchemist, and that way pink can sort of have a second migration that sort of goes out this way to capture all these outposts over there. So let's have this alchemist pawn come over here. Okay, so it's red's turn to select her first set of cards for round 1, and let's have red select migrate, influence, improve, guild, and repeat. And yes, has to put a saltpeter in the player pouch in order to select 5 cards. It's going to be true of everybody here. Blue is going to use her saltpeter as well. So migrate, move, influence. We'll have her do a harvest right from the beginning, and guild. Okay. And then pink selection will be, again, very similar. Migrate, move, let's say influence, guild, and repeat. Okay, so everybody's selected. We're ready to get round 1 underway. We start with red. So red could migrate, or red could influence. Let's start with an influence. So influence at the only location that red can, which is right there. So now red is the ruler of a town, and as soon as red gets a king seal, he can upgrade it. Okay, we are down to blue's turn. So blue is our farmer. So let's bring another pawn out so we could decentralize a little bit. So we're going to do a migrate action. And, well, since knights also like farms, let's bring out a knight. And, of course, that knight has to go to the same place as blue's other pawn. So it's going to join him right there. And now blue is the guild master of the Knights Guild. Okay, pink's turn. We'll also do a migrate. Going to, well, again, sticking with the same plan, outposts are linked to the monks. So let's bring out a monk pawn. Yeah, we'll put it right here, as we planned, with the aim to get it moving this way, and he'll have to get his hands on a vessel. We're back to red, so red will now do her migrate action, and again, because she likes towns, merchant seems to make the most sense, so let's bring out a merchant. And of course it has to go into the same location as her noble. And now she'll be guild master of the merchant guild. So is everybody the guild master? Yes, everybody now is the guild master of 2 different guilds at the types of locations that they both like. So pink in these corners, focusing on outposts. Blue in these corners, focusing on farms. Red in the middle, focusing on towns. And we'll have to get his hands on some king seals in order to upgrade to feudums. And then at some point, he'll have to do some attacks to make sure he gets on the military service track. Okay, so red, so it's blue, we're up to blue. Red just did the migrate. So let's have blue move out. How about to this farm over here? That should be pretty easy to get to. We'll use her knight pawn. So we'll have her come up here. And now we'll have her come over here. And unfortunately, there's nothing to pilfer, so she's done. Okay, pink is going to influence. She wants to have all these outposts under her control. So influence, and we'll influence there, and we'll influence there. The only two places she can influence. Back to red. So red, we decided, needs king seals. So he's going to put some. He's going to do a guild action. Is going to trade at the Nobles Guild, and he got enough money to buy 2 king seals. Yeah, we'll buy 2 king seals. So we'll buy, and he's paying himself to some degree, so he's getting a refund. So we'll go for this one, and we'll go for this one. So effectively, what did that cost him? Like 4 shillings instead of 6. Okay, blue's turn. Blue will influence to make sure that she controls these farms. Okay, that was easy and quick. Pink, what do we say? Oh, pink needs a sub or a ship. I guess a sub makes more sense because subs are really versatile. They can get through just about every location in here. So pink has to use the guild action to make a sub. So we're going to push from the Alchemist Guild, where we manufacture vessels and barrels of crud. And we'll manufacture a submersible, which will take up 2 iron and a food. And then we'll manufacture a barrel of crud, which is our only other choice, which is 2 saltpeter and a sulfur. So that's going to add 1 influence marker to everybody's row, and we'll have a sub for sale. So there's our submersible. Everybody now has 3 influence markers, and for all that, pink scored 5 points because she manufactured 2 items, and if she wants, she can add a reeve to score an extra point, and yes, I'll have her do that. So a reeve placed here in this form, where she's the guild master, takes her total up to 6 points from 5. Okay, red is ready to improve and get his first feudum. So improve, the only place he can improve is there. Okay, so he has to pay a king seal, and I guess I'll get rid of his lowest valued rosary, the king seal. And now where does he want to focus his strength? Well, if he's going to be giving up these towns, that means that's going to lower. He definitely wants to keep control of the merchant. So I think I'm just going to have a merchant feudum come up on the board just to really solidify his status in the merchant guild. Right now he has 2, and he'll soon have 5 as soon as I make this merchant feudum. He will score points and take a tile. He scored 4 points, which is what you get in Epoch I when you upgrade to a feudum. Back to blue. Before doing the harvesting, why don't we just go to the guild and see what we can pick up from the monk guild? We got a 4, 3, 2. So we're going to pick up either a 4 or a 2. Let's see if fate and luck is on our side right now. So we'll do a guild action. We'll trade at the monk guild. Pays 3 shillings. Oh, we got a 2. Oh well. Still, that'll add 2 to our harvest, which isn't going to be too bad. Pink's turn. So pink wants to get on the Epic Voyage track, so that means move and then repeat move. So we're now we have no, we have to buy that vessel, don't we? Well, maybe not yet. Maybe we can stall on that a little bit. No one else is hankering for a vessel. So let's, this might be a little risky, but let's do a move action. We'll move the monk over to here, and we'll be able to pick up a food. What about this guy? And I'll leave him where he is for the moment. I think I want to, especially because these locations are easily accessible to everybody else, I'm going to want to do another influence action to cement Pink's rule in these locations. So for now, I'm just going to move there and pick up on food while I'm at it. So red is doing a repeat. I guess we'll do a repeat guild and maybe do another scoring choice. So we'll push. So our first action was in the Noble Guild, so we can't go back there, but we could push from the Merchant Guild to the Alchemist Guild, and we should be able to score at least 5 points, it looks like. So we're going to push from the Merchant Guild to the Alchemist Guild. We can do this with 4 goods. We can push with 4. So that would be 2 iron and 2 saltpeter is our best bet. So push an iron, a saltpeter, and a saltpeter. We've completed 2 bins, got 5 points, brings us up to 9. Do we want to add a reeve? I guess the answer to that is no, because if Red is going to be focusing on feudums, she's going to need all of her player discs to get on the military service track. So we're going to say no to that. And blue is ready to do her harvest. So we'll be either there or here. I don't think it matters much, so we'll just do it here. Because she has a farmer on the board, and she does have rosary beads. So if I do kickbacks, I always like to do kickbacks, but unfortunately it means that her rosary bead is going to get converted into a king's seal. But that'll always come in handy too. So let's just harvest here. She gets a point. She now, this gets flipped into a king's seal. And now it looks like she harvested 4 saltpeter, 2 iron, and 2 food. Total of 8 goods. 5 basic, plus 1 extra because she rules an extra farm, making it 6, plus 2 for the rosary bead that she had. So that's her 8. And of that 8, she can keep 3 goods in the form of kickbacks. What do we want to take? Take a couple more saltpeter. Always good for an extra action. And I don't think she needs an iron. I'll just grab an extra food. And everything else goes into the location for purposes of the harvest. Pink needs to do a repeat move. So repeat move. And I still haven't gotten her vessel. Okay, well, let's just kind of move the monk over here. So some will argue that that's not entirely in the spirit of the game to sort of just move for the sake of moving to get onto the Epic Voyage track, but Mark Swanson, the developer, did confirm recently in the forums that, yeah, you can move any which way. As long as you do a move, you're fine. Even if you move away and come right back in order to pilfer a good. If you think about it, it would be too difficult over the course of a round to make sure that pawns are moving in a consistent fashion, either in one direction or another. Okay, so that'll get her on the Epic Voyage track. And so far she's good for 5 points here. If we can keep this pattern up, we can get her all the way to the monastery where she'll score 17. Okay, we're ready for the Nourish Pawn phase. I think everybody's got plenty of food. Pink has 8, red has 6, blue has 7. So I think I'll hold on to the sulfur in the wine barrels in case somebody wants to pull off a feast, and I'll just pay with food across the board. And I can do that just by clicking cancel here so that all the questions about possibly using sulfur from the wine barrel are ignored. So that means everybody's paying 2 food. And randomly this tile from this stack got pulled off. So we're halfway toward the end of Epoch I. And we move right into round 2. Blue is now the start player. At the end of every round, the start player shifts to the next player in line. So we're going to add, blue now has saltpeter, so we'll have blue do a harvest for sure. We'll continue to, maybe we'll influence these locations to lock down control. Then we'll plan to move out. And then at some point we'll do a guild and a repeat, maybe to repeat the guild action to score some points. Okay. Pink does not have any saltpeter, so he's limited to 4 actions. So he also wants to lock down his rule, so he'll do an influence, and then he'll plan on moving. We'll do a guild to make sure he gets that ship, and then he'll do a repeat move. Okay, so that's his game plan. And then red, also no saltpeter. Red definitely has to move out of there. We'll then start influencing, and again, guild and repeat is a good general choice. Not ready to engage in any combat. And like I said, if and when red does do that, I'll just stick to starve the people actions. Okay, everybody selected their cards. It is blue's turn to go first. So blue first wants to cement rule in these 2 locations. So I will do an influence action, and I'll put an influence marker here. I kind of like to keep them on the bottom left corner. So I'll drag it later. And an influence marker here. Let's kind of stick that down there. Okay, that's fine. All right, on to pink. Okay, so wants to do the same thing, cement rule in these 2 outposts. So she'll start with an influence action, and influence there, and influence there. Okay, red. So he definitely wants to move. Where's he going to move to? He could have influenced to lock down his rule, but it might make more sense to move and then influence. Let's go this way. And then go this way. Let's just go to the other town. Let's just keep going. To blue. Okay, so blue's got solid rule here, ready to move on to some other lands. So let's move her farmer. Well, we can head for this farm down here pretty easily enough. So let's bring the farmer down here and bring the knight over here to pilfer a food. Pilfer a food. Okay. Pink. So pink wants that sub. So we're going to do a guild. We're going to trade at the alchemist, and we're going to grab that submersible for 3 shillings. One of which will come right back to pink. Red is now ready to influence again, so we'll put one there. So, yeah, you definitely have to make sure that your feudums are solid rule. You don't want somebody usurping one of your feudums for sure. And we'll go down there. So we're now ready to upgrade this guy to a feudum. And blue's turn. I am at this merchant feudum. So that means I could, this would be a perfect time to do the, okay, so I'm going to throw a feast, use the guild action, throw a feast to do red's merchant push action, because I'm at red's merchant that he rules. So we're going to do push out of the merchant, and I am allowed to move for 4 goods. So let's bring food over. That's 3. Let's push sulfur. That's 4. Okay, so that gets us 7 points. 4 for doing completing one bin, plus an extra 3 because we did we threw a feast. Okay, Pink's got to do her double move again, so we'll start by doing a move action. Now we have our sub. Yeah, let's bring the monk here. Now I'll have an extra move on the monk, so I don't have to worry about that. Then I'll be able to launch the monk somewhere into one of these locations. Thinking about what I want to do with this alchemist. That's a move by road. Now Pink can use her monk special ability. So let's bring up the submersible, put it underneath the monk, and I can either go this way or maybe while I'm here. It's hard to get to this location once you make your way out here. So I think I'm going to go here first. So let's go to 3. And I guess I can pilfer. Do I want sulfur along? I don't want any saltpeter. I can pilfer one from the farm over here. Yeah, the only reason, and of course, Blue wouldn't be able to pilfer here because this is Blue's farm. You can't pilfer from yourself, but certainly perfectly legal for Pink to pilfer from somebody else's farm. So I'm going to grab a saltpeter from the farm. Red's turn. Red would like to maybe do some scoring of his own or her own. So we can push from merchant. Well, that was just done, so I don't think we're going to bother with that. Let's push from the Nobles Guild. And I can move over, well, at most two King Seals, because that's all I got. And we're hoping to add up to a lot. What do we got here? 3, 6, 10. Getting a 4 and a 3 is unlikely, so I'm probably going to come away with 5 points. But we'll see what happens. So that one and that one. We got a 5 and a 2. We made the 17-point break, so we just scored 6 points. Got from 9 to 15. And again, no, I don't want Reeves because I need them for the military service track. Okay, we got a nice little break there. Blue's turn. So Blue will continue her harvest. Let's harvest. Usually better to harvest where you already have a harvest if you can. So she harvested 6 goods, 5 plus 1 for the extra farm. And this way, when she trades at the Farmers Guild, she could do it in one big swoop as opposed to multiple actions. Okay, what does she want here? She can get 1 favor. She has saltpeter. Maybe sulfur to refill her wine barrel? Yeah, let's grab a saltpeter for now. Okay, Pink is repeating her move action. It's pretty straightforward. Question is, where are we going to go? Well, we can maybe have Pink come this way to get this outpost that the monk left behind. So yeah, let's bring Pink here and here. And now we do have 1 extra movement that the monk could take. Maybe go over to here to grab this guy. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. So we'll go over there. Unfortunately, there's nothing to pilfer, but she did advance. She will advance, I should say, onto the Epic Voyage track. And when you get to these even-numbered spaces, you get to grab a Royal Seal. So let's see what her choices are. a weapon, which I don't think she's going to make much use of. Oh, she probably has 3 status already somewhere. This is pink we're talking about. 3 status there. Oh, this has to be status on the left side. Yeah, she has 3 status in the Alchemist Guild. She'll be able to use this card right away. So we'll grab it. And maybe I'll have her use it right now. So let's go back to pink for a moment. And question is, do I want goods or shillings or a ship, a vessel? I think goods are, the sub is going to do us well for quite a while. We've got shillings. We're low on food, on goods, so let's just grab 3 goods. Get them at random, of course. So we got a wood, an iron, and a food. Not bad. Okay, so now we'll come back to red's turn. And red is obviously repeating. Now red could return the favor to blue, because red is up there, and so red could do blue's night push. Yeah, I think that's what she's going to do. So she and red does have wine in her wine barrel, so she is going to throw a feast by paying that wine barrel, and she is going to, looks like red's night push. That'll restore some king seals, so there's plenty of room. We can actually push 3 king seals over here. Okay, so we're going to do a night push. So we want to choose everybody except red, so we'll do pink and blue. Oops. I got a little bug here, don't I? Can I just do it from over here? Yeah, I can. And now we can fill 3 spaces with king seals. Let's put 1 down here, and maybe 1 here. We completed 1 row. We should go here and complete 2 rows. Okay, yeah. That'll score us 5 points plus 3. That'll get us 8 points. Brings us up to 23. Good. Blue's turn. Blue does the repeat. Oh, she's probably ready to dump these goods and maybe get some food. So let's trade at the Farmers Guild. Okay, so she can collect 4 food or shillings. She just dumped how many goods? Transfer, sold 9 goods. 2 of which spilled over here. I didn't actually catch it, but maybe you did. 2 of those goods would have filled in spots in the Merchant Guild, probably. And now I think I'll just grab all food. That's my pressing need for the moment. I just want to have plenty of food on hand so I could use any wine that I collect for other purposes. Okay, how's our food supply? I'm not actually watching it too carefully. Pink has plenty. Red is okay. Blue's okay. So we'll once again cancel and have everybody pay with food. So 2 for pink, 2 for red, 2 for blue. That stack has the tile removed, so we're now 1 tile away. This will be the last round, basically, for Epoch I. At some point, I want to have pink do an explore, but maybe not just yet. And although I could use the saltpeter. Well, let's see. She definitely wants to move. She definitely wants to repeat. Guild action for scoring. And she wants to rule over here, so Definitely going to be influence. Question is, do I do an explore now? I'm going to hold off on that. I'm actually just going to go with the 4 cards for now. Red. Okay, so we're just about to get into the dawn of Epoch II. So red definitely has to do an attack here. So we're going to conquer. We obviously have to move to conquer somebody. It's probably going to be blue over here. We'll knock out our subjects and we'll move with the noble pawn and do a Starve the People. While we're at it, we could possibly improve this farm to a town, maybe? Let's do an improve. That's 3 so far. We'll do an influence, and he can't do 5, so that will be that. I'm just trying to pick these pretty quickly, so I hope I'm not messing up as I go. Harvest again. I wonder if we should bring out another pawn. So far, everybody only has 2 pawns on the board. Why don't we have... Well, blue has plenty of food. Let's migrate. We'll do a move. We'll do an influence to rule more farms. And then we'll do our standard guild and repeat. And we have 2 saltpeters, so we'll spend 1. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. So pink only has 1 influence marker here. And we already lost 1 when red did that push from the Night Guild. Maybe we should grab these 2 while we can, even though it's not a great deal. But I don't see a lot of barrels of crud getting generated. At most I might have gotten 1 more influence marker. So we'll have pink trade at the Night Guild to grab her 2 influence markers. Okay, so red does have her 2nd King Seal. Maybe she's ready to improve this guy to another feudum. So we'll improve that. And now what kind of feudum do I want? She's probably going to have to settle for journeyman position. What do we got up here? Has 3. This will give her 3. Maybe we should just fight to try to take over, because it would be nice to be able to push from here to here and then push from here to here eventually. Of course, in the near term, doing a push from here and a pull from here basically gains us nothing. But let's see if we can maybe take over control of the Alchemist Guild at some point. So for now, I'm just journeyman here. Okay, Blue, what are you doing? I think a move to start with. Bring the farmer down to this farm to possibly rule it. And I don't know what to do with this knight. Let's just bring it down here for now. I can't pilfer, so we're done. Pink is now got her influence markers. She's ready to spend them and be low again. She'll do influence and grab rule of that location and grab rule of that location. Okay, red. I guess we better get this Starve the People done. So we're going to come down this way, follow blue. Oh, we're going to do a move. We're going to come this way, follow blue. You got to you know what? Blue probably should have played the defend action. Because he should have figured out that red had to do a conquer, and because red occupies all the space Well, blue occupies two of the locations. He could, both red and pink probably should have played the defend card to fend off any aggressive action, but I wasn't thinking along those terms. Okay, nothing to pilfer, move on. Blue, same boat as pink, only one influence marker. So let's guild, trade, get 2 influence markers at a cost of 3 shillings. At least blue is paying herself partially for that. Okay, pink is going to do a move and then a repeat move, so we're going to move. So I think we're okay here. I don't think we need to cement rule here because it's unlikely anybody's going to come over here and bother with us. So let's move the monk back to this location. And now, maybe back here so that because that'll take us back that way, won't it? Yeah. Okay, so we'll go up here. Come on. Okay. And then finally, we'll move pink over to this farm, and we'll be able to pilfer a food. Okay, red, it's that time. We're going to do a conquer, starve the people action. That causes all the rosary beads on the chickens to go back into the supply, allowing for further pushes from the Monks Guild. It's not a perfect solution, but it's a solution nevertheless. So let's do a conquer action. We'll take out, now of course red should possibly be worried that blue has a defend action in her hand. But since I know she doesn't, I guess we're just going to grab that and get on the military service track. Like I said, it's a pretty benign way of being aggressive without knocking somebody's pawn off the board. Okay, blue. All right, so she, oh, good timing. She can do influence and put her her guy right back. So we'll influence there. Maybe we'll influence down here to take get rule of this farm down here. Okay, yeah, that was good. Timing was fine there. A little bit aggressive on red's part, but didn't do too much damage to blue. Okay, pink's ready to do her repeat move action. It's easy when you know that she's got a single goal in mind. So I can come down here. And I can come down here. But I'm not going to be able to pilfer anything. I could move the monk down here because I have plans to influence there. But I can just as easily influence here. So I can just finish right there, move up on the Epic Voyage track. Now I'm here. So I have a guaranteed 9 points unless somebody else tries to compete with me, which is unlikely. Red's only action here is influence. The only place she can influence is at this Feudum. So she cemented her rule of the Feudums. Blue. So what has she done so far? Move, influence, guild. Okay, well now that the chickens no longer have rosary beads, maybe she should do a push, although this is bad logic because chances are she won't score any points if she pushes from the Farmers Guild to from the Monks Guild rather. What if we did a push from the Farmers Guild to the Merchants Guild? We can move some sulfur. We're going to be able to only, and some saltpeter, so we'll be able to fill at least 2 bins. 2 rows, I should say. So let's repeat the guild action. We'll push from the Farmers Guild. This will also allow us to get some of this cash, 3 shillings to be precise. So we want to push 1 saltpeter. That completes 1 row. 2 sulfur. We can push up to 5 goods, so that's the 2nd row. That's as good as we're going to be able to do. But as long as we're here, we'll push an iron, we'll push a food. Okay, so that should be good for 5 points. And do I want to add a reeve? I see no reason why not. So let's add a reeve to the farmer and score an extra point. Blue is ready to do her migrate. Maybe she should bring a noble pawn out. Well, you know what? For now, let's just put it there, and I'll think about what I want to do with it later. So let's just bring it out there. And that gives me the journeyman position of the Nobles Guild, which is good timing because that's an extra 3 points as we go into the into the dawn of the epic. Okay, we're ready to nourish, and again, I like to check pawn levels. So pink has 6, plenty. Red is hurting a little, but he's got enough food. That's his only choice. The only one actually who has a choice is pink. Yeah, let's just pay with all food again. So just pay with food across the board. Got to watch out for red's food intake. Okay, so for the dawn of the epic scoring, looks like pink has 2 guildmaster positions, here and here, that's 10 points. Oh, sorry, here and here, opposite corners, that's 10 points. Red has 2 guildmaster positions, here and here, plus grab the journeyman, so that's 13 points. And blue is in the same boat. Blue has 2 guildmasters and a journeyman for a total of 13 points. There are no landscapes on the board. Looks like pink and blue are in 3 active regions. Desert for pink, forest for pink, and the sea region. Not quite the island region. She never did influence over here yet. So that's 5 points for pink. Red is only in 1 region, 1 point only. Blue is in 3 regions, the Badlands, the forest, the desert. And nobody had feudal disloyalty because red successfully made it onto the first space of the track. We're ready to proceed. And now we're in Epoch II, so the epic marker has moved here. Red will be the start player. And so red, I'll have to do a move, definitely a guild, definitely a repeat. I don't know that I can afford to migrate, and I don't see food anywhere as a prevalent source. She has money so she could buy some food. She's going to have to do something. She'll probably go to the merchant and buy some food there. So what do I do with this last action? She has no influence markers. I'd have to... She's low on money. Damn. I'm not tending to blue carefully enough. And you know what? I've improved both her towns, so now she can't even do a tax action. I think I'm screwing red up. Well, when in doubt, you can always do a defend action and score a point. So I guess I'm just going to settle for that. This kind of stinks. Blue has saltpeter, so we'll do a move, an influence, we'll harvest again, and a guild and a repeat. Again, I'm making really quick choices here, going with what you might typically do, but I'm not kind of thinking about other opportunities for a more rounded strategy. I'm just staying focused on what these guys' goals are. So Pink also has, so she's definitely doing her move and her repeat. Influence to continue grabbing. She's going to go for a large empire. Now may be a time to explore, and we'll throw a guild in for some points. Okay. All right, Red, you need to get food. There is one over here. Okay, so let's do a move and maybe bring this noble toward the food. Not going to quite make it there this turn. But getting there. Hopefully blue won't steal it from under her. I think blue might have other plans. What if blue, now that blue is over here, what if blue made a foray into the mountains if she'd grab one of these flying machines? Yeah, let's do a guild. Let's trade at the Farmers Guild. We'll bag one of these flying machines. 3 shillings. Pink. You ready to move or influence? We could double influence there. We don't really. Oh yeah, we definitely want to influence here. Okay, so that we're happy with one influence marker. This one probably should have another one just in case somebody starts coming over here. And then if they have a vessel, I can always maybe start thinking about doubling up on some of these other locations. But let's do another one. Oh. Wait a minute. Did I get confused? Oh. Pink did her influence and then the program went on because he realized she's out of influence markers. Yes, so she couldn't influence any other place. So the program just moved on without me. I guess that's just as well. It's smarter than I am. Sometimes you can easily lose track here of when you're running low on influence, like Red is at this moment. Okay, Red wants that food, so we're going to repeat move, which will get him on the, which you really can't afford to do to get on the track. So he's probably going to come over here, he'll grab the food, don't want to move anything else. No, I think I'll just leave everybody else where they are. I'll grab the food, and no, I don't want to get on the Epic Voyage track. I am dedicating my life to the King's military service. So it's time to move, use that flying machine to get blue into the mountains. So let's bring in the flying machine. And then bring the noble out here where she'll be able to pilfer an iron. Or should I keep going and pilfer this wood? Blue does want farms more than anything. She can always come back here. Let's get to the farm first. Use the flying machine, and then we'll pilfer the wood. Okay, Pink's turn. My brain is starting to go a little crazy here, just trying to keep track of what 3 people are doing. Let's just do an explorer. So Pink rules 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 outposts. So what's that? 5 cards she's going to draw? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards she's going to draw. Keep 1. Oh yeah, I got to pour over all these cards. Okay, what do we got? Isolated kingdom, unlikely. Northern kingdom, she definitely has 2 there, but that's about the extent of what she's going to get. So this is worth 5 points to her. Too early in the game to start playing actions. No guarantee she's going to defeat a monster. We could potentially go for the 7 points here, but so far she hasn't been keeping her wine barrel stocked. And this is a way to get some, oh, shillings. And she's got 4. Yeah, I think this is the card we want. Yeah, let's grab this for some money. Do I want to pay iron to draw some more cards? No, I don't think so. Red. What does red need? Oh, influence markers. Yeah. We're going to guild. We're going to trade here. We're going to grab. Now, we could grab a monster, but I need the influence markers desperately, so we're not going to take control of the monster. I'm not sure if we're going to see a monster in this playthrough, guys. Sorry about that. Blue wants to take control of a farm, so we'll do an influence and grab that. And again, she's out of influence markers again. Keeping your influence markers stocked here is a difficult task. And so far, there are very few to grab because somebody's not doing their job. We need red to push and then pink to push. Or somebody should be maybe throwing a feast. Pink, though, is focused on moving, so pink is going to come down here and grab this wood. Yeah. Abandoning the vessel behind her because she can't take a sub from here to here, but she'll go back and pick it up later. Okay, so red is only getting a point for playing a defend card and nothing else. Blue, blue wanted to harvest, so should we harvest in the mountains? Probably harvest here and take advantage of the fact that there's already 1 good there. We're going to harvest 8 goods, could take possibly 3 kickbacks. So let's go here. That will leave an even number of goods there. And for kickbacks, I need a saltpeter. I could use a sulfur in my wine barrel. And I'll grab the food. I don't think I really need wood for any purpose. Pink's turn. Repeat move. So the move, the month. Oh. I haven't played, I haven't influenced yet because she doesn't have any influence markers. I think we're just going to move for the sake of moving. Oh, wait a minute. She could go here and then go here, grab a sulfur. That would effectively get her 1 nourishment. Yeah, let's do that. So let's rejoin the sub. Now bring the sub down here and grab a sulfur. And that will go, yeah, no reason to do a back-to-back action, so that's going to go into my wine barrel. Oh, I get a royal writ, don't I, for advancing to this even-numbered space, so... Oh, that's perfect. Yes, that... I don't even have to look here. This is what I want. Just need to make sure I get a king seal for it. But this is basically our region. Okay, perfect. That should score some nice points at the end of the game. Blue can repeat. What does blue want to repeat? She could cash in those 6 goods. Yeah, I think I will. So I want to do a trade at the merchant. Cash in all the goods. That gives us 3 food and or shillings. I'll take a food and a shilling. And to keep these even, I'll grab another shilling. And there was no spillage because there are no beads, chickens. No rosary beads on the chickens. Pink's turn. Only one choice here, doing a guild action. Can't generate a whole lot of crud, but at least can get started. So let's push from the Alchemist Guild. We can manufacture a ship and a submersible or a flying machine. Well, I don't want anybody coming after me too much, so I think I'll just go with a flying machine. And then we can do a barrel of crud. So we can manufacture 3 items that score 6 points. And that'll give everybody 1 influence marker, and yellow will go up to 3. It scores me 7 points for my Reeve. 6 plus 1. Back to Nourishing Ponds, and this, oh, yeah, nobody's doing any improve, so it's not really moving the game along too quickly. I probably should do some more improves here. All right, maybe so Pink has 4 food and 2 wine. Let's maybe use her to feed with wine for now. Yeah, let's feed both of her ponds with wine. I don't think she's going to be seeing any combat anytime soon. Oh, Red, you don't have enough food on hand to nourish your ponds. Oh, yes, I haven't been watching this, but she does have a tile. So, yeah, let's turn that into a food. But again, she's going to pay 2 food and be out of food again. I'm going to have to keep an eye on this. Blue. So Blue has plenty of food, but maybe because she also has that. She'll use the wine. I'm going to nourish anybody with wine. It's probably this guy because he's out in the sticks. And he's at what? Location 16. So no, I'll pay with food for this guy. I'll pay food for that guy. And for this guy, I will use the sulfur and make him drunk. Drunk in the mountains. What a good combination. And no 3 tiles got revealed. Blue has a saltpeter. Wants to probably start influencing. Definitely influence, definitely move. Maybe let's have somebody do an improve to speed the game along. And a guild and a repeat. Okay. Pink is easy. Move, repeat. Guild, and influence. I think Pink is basically doing the same thing every time. Has no saltpeter, so... Oh, she still has this... she has to cash this in for her money. And Red... definitely has to tax to get some money to pay for food. It does have influence markers, so we'll do an influence, we'll do a guild, we'll repeat. It has no saltpeter, so it has to stop right there. Okay, Blue, are you ready to move? I think so. So we're going to come back up here with the flying machine. And with plans to influence down the road. For now, I'll just grab this iron. Do I want to move anybody else before I do that? This knight. Move to 10. And from there, you can move to... Oh, so if I can get a ship... Oh, if I can grab that ship, I can come down to this farm. Okay, so let's move the knight up here. And move the knight over here. And maybe I'll have plans to grab a ship at some point. So I'm going to grab this iron. Pink is moving, of course. Pink's easy. So where are we, Pink? Down here. So let's come back to where we came from and come down here to with plans to influence this location. So I think I'm done. Nothing to pilfer. Okay, Red, let's grab this town so we can pilfer. So that we can tax, rather. So we'll do an influence there. Blue. Blue's out of influence, needs it badly, and what a lousy deal. 3 shillings for 1 stinking marker. But she doesn't have an easy way to change that situation, so I think she's stuck getting a bad deal here. Do a guild to trade at the knight, pay 3 shillings. The advantage is that she'll eventually be able to recoup some of it also by pushing from the Farmers Guild and getting half of the farmer's purse. Okay, Pink. Pink also needs influence markers. Pink doesn't have a choice. She's just focused. I think I'm just going to do the same thing. Guild, trade up here, get 1 stinking influence marker for 3 shillings. Not great. Okay, you're ready to do the tax to get some money. 4, nice, for the Feudums, you got some extra shillings, so you picked up 4 shillings. Blue, you want to influence with your single stinking influence marker right there. Pink also wants to influence, to grab that. So this is your last influence marker. Something's going to have to change here. We don't, although we are going into Epoch III eventually, and at that point things will get reset. Okay, well, Red had to buy food, so Red is going to go to the Merchant Guild. You grab 1 food for 1. You grab another food for 2. And while we're here, we'll grab a wood because she doesn't have any. Not sure what she'll use it for, but it's only a shilling. And she got some back, so it only cost her 2 shillings. Blue, okay, let's get an improve action. And this is good. This will get us some points. So has the wood. I guess we'll do it right here. We'll improve this to a farm. Yep. And get an archery butt. Not bad. Another good way to get some influence markers. And what'd she get for that? in it was an Epoch II tile upgrading to a farm. I think it was 4 points, farm, 3 points. Pink, repeat move. Yep. Well, you have to go back here. I guess our only choice is to go here, and we'll be able to pull for food. Okay, and we advanced to the next section. Now we're looking at 13 points from the track. Red can only do a repeat. Red needs a king seal. Let's repeat the guild action at the Nobles Guild, and we'll just grab one of these king seals. And that's all we can afford. Blue is repeating. You can bring some king seals down and knock out red and yellow. Okay, so let's do a pull from the Noble Guild. We'll knock out a red and knock out a yellow. And let's see, we'll put one here. And I think we're only going to get one row or column. Yeah. So that's 4 points. Well, she's doing a pull. That's 3 points. Do we want to put in a reeve? Yes, we might as well. So that's 4 points. No, 5 points because she has 2 reeves on the board. And now she gets a royal writ. She could buy a vessel. River Kingdom. She needs the vessel before she can get on the River Kingdom. She needs a ship. Let's just get this cheap. Let's get the cheap ship. She has the wood. So we're still in blue, so let's do flyer or ship. And we want to purchase a ship, so we're going to say no. That costs us a wood. We get a ship. Okay. Nourish. I think everybody's okay. Blue has 4. Red is barely making it with 2. Nobody's in the. Everybody's paying with food because nobody has any wine. So, except Pink just paid off one of her pawns up there who had wine from the previous round. Oh, okay, so we're just going into another round. We need one more phase 3 tile to be revealed before we can move on to the next epic. Okay, Pink, no saltpeter. You're definitely doing a move and a repeat. Very easy. And a guild. And an explorer. And I gotta make sure I do that at some point. And you definitely want to tax again and move and conquer. Might as well get that out of the way and do a guild. And you have no saltpeter. And blue will harvest again. Probably ready to move again. Maybe grab a ship. So let's guild, move, and then repeat. No saltpeter. Pink. Easy. Move. We can go over here, can't we? Come down here. And go up here. Via road. And pilfer this sulfur. And we'll add it to the wine barrel. Generally speaking, if I get sulfur, I stick it in the wine barrel as long as there's less than 3 sulfur in there. I usually don't do many sequential actions. Okay, red. Where are we moving you? Might as well find some place where we can do another Starve the People. So let's move. Come down here. Oh, I can just do it against pink this time. I think I was against blue last time, so this time we'll be fair and hit pink up for it. Blue. Oh, we could bring blue down here via flying machine and then up and then do improve. Yeah, let's bring blue down here. I'm going to do a move by flying machine and move down here. By flying machine is the only choice. And we will pilfer a sulfur. Oh, and I'll put it in the wine barrel. Pink. You can grab something. You can grab 2 shillings here. I only have 1. I think I'll have pink do a push. Oh, okay, so pink can't do trading because pink doesn't have any shillings. But this will get us some shillings. So let's push from the monk. Oh, and we move to 5, which is not bad. That scores 4 points and gets us some badly needed shillings. And sure, we can add a reeve and get us another point. So it's a pretty close game. Red needs shillings for food. Gonna get 4 shillings, bring them up to 5. Blue could use some more food, so that usually means time for a harvest. I don't think it really matters. You know what? We'll go way out deep into the mountains, and no rosary beads. So what? We're just going to get how many goods? We're going to get 9 goods, just because we rule so many farms. So we get our point. And we get 3 goods. Let's stock up with sulfur. That brings us to 2. That brings us to 3. And we don't have any saltpeter, so we'll grab 1 of those as well. 6 goods harvested. Pink. Oh, I guess you're exploring. And I have to use this card. Oh, now we're up to 7 cards. Man. I don't have any region tiles. That's no good. East is of no value to me. Grab a rosary bead is valuable too, because we're going to need the king's seal. So if I do a harvest at some point, I can convert that to a king's seal, so that'll pay for my Western Kingdom charter. Take a randomly chosen region tile. Too early for actions. Oh, 3 status again. Oh, I can get influence markers. Yeah, I think I'm going to grab that card. Do I want to pay 1 iron? No, but while I'm here, let's just play this and grab 3 status for influence. Oh, desperately needed. Yeah, I guess I should just get the shillings. So what is this again? We have to pay 1 wood and 1 food, which I have. I don't have the sulfur, but I can get 9 shillings. So let's do that. Good. And we're not paying, oh, we don't have an iron because we just paid it. So the answer is no. Red. Oh yeah, we're conquering. We're doing the Starve the People action. That will again clear out this rosary bead from the chicken. So I guess we're doing this one. And we're definitely going onto the military service track. So 2 down, 1 to go. Blue. And I can get on the track, on the Epic Voyage track while I'm at it. So let's repeat move. Actually, we can just go forward and backwards. Or we can go all the way over here. Blue wants farms. Okay, why don't we do that? So let's move that to... Oh, we're moving. All right, so where's this? Flying machine comes over here. And then we can come all the way over here. Oh, that connects to the flying machine? Yeah, it does. There's the bird. So I'll use the flying machine and keep it with me. And do I want to move this in? Move this guy. Not sure what to do with him. Let's threaten. Maybe we do another. Red doesn't have any wine. I was thinking maybe we do a feast. Well, blue doesn't have any wine. Well, blue has plenty of wine. Blue can do a feast, so maybe can do a merchant push. Okay, so that's perfect for blue. And that gets her on the voyage track. Fine with me. Okay, pink's turn. Repeat move. Easy. Pretty soon we're not going to be able to do that anymore. Just come back south to the vessel. And that should be enough. And we're now next to the last space. Oh, and I get a royal writ. I'm not attacking anybody, so that's of no value. Southern Kingdom for pink is really no value. I'll take it, but I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Red. Doing a guild action. What's the most sense here? Shoot, red doesn't have any food. Oh my gosh, there's no food in the merchant guild to buy. It's empty. Not a good situation. Both pawns are going to migrate off the board? I think so. I don't see any way to get food. Not good. There's no food on the board to pilfer. Okay, what makes the most sense? Well, we can get some... We can push down to the Farmers Guild from the Nobles Guild. So we'll do that one and that one. But that should get us a fair number of points. We went from 38 to 44, so we got 6 points. No. Guild action it is. So should we throw a feast? Maybe we should push from the Farmers Guild. Come back to the feast later. Let's push 1 wood. We'll fill up that row. This is not as good as I thought. But I do have the reeds. So I should score 6 points, I think. So let's just stop there. 43 to 47 to 49. Okay. Oh, Nourish Ponds. Not good for red. I think red's game is pretty much abandoned at this point. Okay, pink. So this is the alchemist. No. I have 1 sulfur. I guess I can give you sulfur. Yeah. So the pawns are migrating off the board. Oh my god. Red's game is basically shot to hell. Oh, blue doesn't have enough food. Because she migrated, but she does have a tile. Oh, but she has plenty of sulfur, too. Let's just use the sulfur across the board. Yes. That basically is the end of her plans to throw a feast now. Oh, there's the end of the epic. Okay, suffice it to say, without going through too much detail, a lot of guild masters, a lot of journeymen, no landscapes. People are active in more regions. So that's all good, well and good. And now it's the dawn of Epoch III. So we're going to get eastern goods placed, 6 goods placed on the easternmost locations, and we're going to rebuild the guilds to their starting, back to their starting conditions. In the flash of an eye, in the wink of an eye, I should say. Round 7. Red, you still are in bad shape, and now you can't even migrate. So I gotta get food. Oh, but now we got plenty of food because, fine. So let's do a migrate at some point during this turn to get a pawn back on the board. We'll move to move it someplace useful. We'll tax to get some money and a guild to buy some food. But I think red's game might be just done for. Okay, blue does have a saltpeter, so influence, move, do another harvest, and a guild and a repeat. So basically at this point, red has a pact with everybody that all he's going to do is just remove some subjects or something, or serfs, to fulfill his needs for the military service track. But he's got time to do that. Pink will obviously do her last move and repeat, and will influence and will guild. Pretty standard fare for pink. Red. Oh, yeah, red desperately needs food, so let's get that out of the way. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Paid some shillings, got some back. Now she's got 3 food. And not many pawns to pay for. Blue. Blue is trade to get some influence markers. She's going to get 2. Better than 1. Pink. I'm thinking maybe we should just grab some influence markers while we can. She doesn't desperately need them. But she's going to definitely need one here. I don't know. You know, while they're there and she's got plenty of money, let's just do it. Let's go to the guild. We'll trade up here, grab her influence markers. Okay, red now has food, so he can migrate. We'll bring his noble back where it was. and basically gets his guildmaster status again. Blue, I think blue has to influence over here, so let's influence. Is there any other place that blue? Yeah, I'm going to enforce my rule here. Pink. So we're going to do a move, and we're just going to move up and back. Up and back. Okay. Again, not very thematic, but it serves. We just need to get to the monastery here, and it is okay. It is permitted. Red's turn. Okay, we got to get that noble to someplace useful. Come down here, we can get some food. Okay, blue's turn. Okay, so you've done what you needed to do here. Let's just move back. To there, by flying machine. I guess we could just pull for the sulfur. Yeah, I'll just grab that. And yes, go in the wine barrel. So we still pink. I think pink's influencing. Now I do an influence there. Oh, that time it worked. That's really the only place I have to influence, so I'll continue. Red, you're getting shillings again. 4 shillings. Blue, get your harvest done. Go back to the mountains since we can still harvest over there. Get a point, and we choose our favors. So we're getting 4 favors. Grab a couple saltpeter. We'll get a food. And I guess a wood. Although, actually, probably should have just grabbed more food. Oh, I still have more to go. Let's grab another food. Pink. Repeat move, last one. So we're just going to move up and back again. Up, back. Continue. Gets us up to the monastery. We have gotten set 17 points for us at the end of the game. Hopefully that will be enough. We'll see how well it works to just play that track repeatedly. Blue is repeating. Oh, might as well cash in all these goods. So guild action at the farmer. So what we'll be collecting here? 6 food or shillings. Let's just split it down the middle. Take a food, a food, a food, and a money, and a money. I have to say blue's in really good shape here. Okay, I don't know what the food situation here is. Okay, so pink just paid this guy with residual wine. I guess both of them did. I wasn't watching too closely. Where are we here? Blue. Oh, everybody just got paid. Either because we were low on food or they had residual wine, I guess. I don't know what just happened there. Pink. So we paid food for this guy. This guy already had wine. from last round, so he loses it. This red just nourishes one pawn on the board with food, has no wine. Residual wine, everybody was fed with wine from last round, so okay. Okay, blue, start player. Let's do another harvest, keep on that track. We'll move, I don't know, just guild and repeat. Pink, move, influence, guild, and probably we'll repeat the guild action. No need to repeat the move action. Red, let's get that conquer out of the way. Tax to get some more money, guild to get some food. Hopefully there's food available, and then repeat. Is there food? There's plenty of food available. Okay, so this is just a maintenance round. Think of it that way. Blue, move. Maybe we can improve this. We didn't choose improve this turn, I don't think. But you could sort of head up here with the farmer. Let's just go there. Let's just stop there. Pink, moving. And we'll just keep moving this pawn around, I guess, up here. Now she just wants to rule as many locations as possible to score on this Western Kingdom, which she still doesn't have a seal for, by the way. Okay. Red. Let's see if we can score. Guild. We push from the merchant. Plenty of room to push from the merchant. Let's push a food and a food and a sulfur and a sulfur for 5 points. Brings us up to 60. No Reeves. Blue. Boy, I wonder if I would have scored more on Reeves all this time than the 5 points I'm saving just by covering that last part of the track, the military track. Let's repeat the move, and that'll actually get, will advance us on the Epic Voyage track. It will get us a card, a Royal Writ. But let's go after Pink's little vulnerable space here. So what do we got in the way of Royal Writs? Two action cards. Well, it is late in the game. So these are alternate actions, and once you play them, they're permanent for the rest of the game. And this one gets you King's Seals at 2 shillings instead of 3. And red is going to need King's Seals if she does want to continue to improve into feudums. So let's grab King Daniel. Okay. Don't necessarily have to play it next time, but maybe toward the end of the game. Pink. Now we can influence. Oh, she's still up here, so she can reinforce and get that town. Okay, red. Oh, red is just going to do his conquer and grab that pawn again. That takes care of red's commitment to service, military service. Blue, I am throwing a feast. Oh. Push from the alchemist. We're going to just manufacture 3 barrels of crud. Fill up everybody with markers, and this is going to score me 9 points. Pink. Pink needs to get some score here. Pink is way behind. Why don't we make some vessels? We can make two vessels, and that will get us 5 points and 2 for our reeves. So that's 7 points. That will get us to 58. Red will repeat the guild action, and we could refill the Alchemist Guild. So let's pull from the Merchant Guild into the Alchemist Guild. And we'll just grab 2 sulfurs. It's 3 points. Kind of sucks, but I'm not sure I saw any other. Oh, and we get a writ. More shillings. Okay. Blue. Harvest. I guess back at our normal harvest place. What we want for our favors, we'll take grab a sulfur for sure back in our wine barrel. We're throwing more feasts. Let me take a little of everything here. Take a food. Take a saltpeter. I'll just grab another saltpeter. Pink. Repeat. I think pink needs this sulfur pretty bad, so let's do a repeat move, even though it's not going to help him up here in the Epic Voyage track, but it will help him when it comes to feeding and nourishing his pawns, rather. So we're going to put that sulfur in the wine barrel. Red is going to do a tax action, but before that, let's get this card out of the way and go for the 7 shillings. That's costing him a wood. I'm sorry, a wood and a food. But he has 1 pawn, 1 food. He's fine. Tax. 4 shillings as usual. Okay, nourish pawns phase. You can see I'm trying to I want to bring this game to a conclusion now, so I'm kind of gonna rush toward the end a little bit. Okay, Pink, what's your situation here? So yeah, we could use the sulfur, but not for the alchemist. Let's use it for the monk here. Okay, so red's okay, and blue has plenty of food, so we're going to cancel again and just pay with food. Okay, good. So one Epoch IV tile is showing. So this round, let's have Pink. Let's have Pink sacrifice himself a little bit and have him do an improve. Just so we can force one of these tiles to flip, because once we have 2 Epoch IV tiles showing, that'll get us to the dawn of Epoch IV, and then hopefully we can just get to the dawn of Epoch V in 1 round after that. So improve, we'll do our, now there's going to be a rush to do some scoring at the end, so a lot of guilds and repeats, and Pink still has this other pawn off the board, but he doesn't have a lot of food. We have to make sure he gets food somehow. Let's see if we can pull off a migrate. That would be biting off more than I can chew. Red, I'll also have him do an improve. An influence, and a guild and a repeat. And then blue, again, has plenty of saltpeter, so a guild or repeat is typical harvest, move, and influence. Okay. Pink. So you need food. So let us do a guild action. We'll trade at the Merchants Guild. We'll buy this food. We'll buy this food. And we'll buy a saltpeter. Okay. Red. You have a King Seal, so we can improve this to a Feudum. So let's do that. And what kind of Feudum do we want here? Well, since red's pretty strong on the left side of the board, let's continue. Well, he's semi-strong, but let's let him sneak into this guild as well. So let's have him make a farmer Feudum, so we can now be the journeyman. He gets an archery butt. Of course, that doesn't help he does score points because he got a tile, but it doesn't help our situation. It's going to be Pink who's going to help our situation and rush us into the dawn of Epoch IV. Blue is going to just do a harvest. And should we just go to our standard? Yeah, our standard place over here. So we'll grab a sulfur, put it in the wine barrel. A couple foods. And a saltpeter for good measure. Okay, Pink. So you have the food now. But if I migrate, I may not have enough food. Oh, this is probably going to be a waste. But migrate. Let's have him bring out a merchant pawn just so we can be a journeyman over here. Possibly score a couple more points at the at Dawn of Epic Scoring. And doesn't really matter where he brings it. I'll just bring it up here. Okay, so Pink's the journeyman over there. So red. Okay, so you can only influence here. Blue. So I'm just gonna do a bunch of different things that probably don't help the players, but just sort of complete some of the goals they had in mind. So we did always want to get blue over to this farm on the river, so we can do a move action. Let's bring the noble over here with his flying machine. Then let's bring the ship on. And now use the ship to bring this guy all the way around up to the... Oh, first we have to come over to here. And then we can go all the way up to this farm using the ship. So the river is all ship transportation. All right, so that's good. So Pink was going to do our improve for us to force us into epic scoring. So he is going to improve this outpost to a farm. He's got the wood. Now you might, so I'm saying he's making a sacrifice because while he will score 4 points to upgrade this, I'm pretty sure it's 4 points for an Epoch III upgrading to, yeah. So he's going to score 4 points for doing this upgrade, but he's giving up 3 because during endgame scoring, you score for 3 of a kind of the same type of location. And so he has 3 outposts and 3 outposts. So that would normally score him 3 and 3. But by upgrading this, and which one did I say I was going to upgrade? Because it probably doesn't really matter. You know, just do this one. By upgrading this, he's only going to have 1 set of 3. Because now this these 3 outposts will no longer be 3 outposts. There'll be 2 outposts on a farm. So he's giving up 3 actions. He's giving up 3 points, gaining 4 in return, but he's also using an action to do it. So I'm not sure this would normally make a lot of sense, but it will cause this tile to get removed, and that because now that we have 2 Epoch IV tiles showing, it means that we will move into the dawn of epic scoring at the end of this round. Red will do a guild action. So let's start by going from the merchant, pushing from the merchant to the alchemist. And we can push an iron. I think that's all he's going to get. Yeah, so just a wood and a wood. But 4 points is 4 points. Blue. So we're going to have blue do influence. Oh, yeah, on his farm, of course. Let's bring this over a little bit. Okay, pink. So we're going to do a repeat guild just for scoring purposes. And let's finish the push in the alchemist. So he's pushing now from the Alchemist Guild into the Knight Guild, using the fact that Red just did a push. A sub is all. But it's 4 points. And it's Reeves. So it's 6 points, I think. Yeah. Okay, Red, just rushing to the end here. Another guild action for scoring. Well, actually, no, we need more influence markers. Oh, you know what? And since there's a whole row here, let's trade. Let's get him 6 influence markers. Let's bring a monster on the board. Now, the only place he can really deploy a monster are any of these locations. He could bring it out yes, we are going to do this. He could bring out the Sea Serpent, but then he has no place to go with it, really. So he wants to stick with the Behemoth and maybe just deploy him where he has this pawn. So he's going to bring out the Behemoth. Now this costs net 3 influence markers, 2 of which go back to the supply, and one of which covers the Behemoth icon in the Knight Guild, indicating that Red has control of this Behemoth. And just for clarity's sake, I'll just keep it close to his pawn. If for any reason the Behemoth was ever defeated, Red would get this influence marker back, so then it would have only cost him 2. But he's not deploying the Behemoth just with the idea of having him defeated in battle. That's not why you get a monster in the first place. Now, other players could consider that a threatening action to a certain extent. Although Red doesn't have a whole lot of movement, he now still only has 2 movement points. So I suppose he could come after Blue here. Anyhow, it is Blue's turn. Blue's going to ignore him for the moment and just do a guild. And let's push from the Farmer's Guild. So we can push an iron and complete 1 row there. Push a wood and complete a 2nd row for 5 points. And a food for good measure. So that should get us 5 and 2 for Reeves. And now Blue gets another turn. Oh, also the Farmer's Purse got split there, didn't it? Blue got 3 as the Guildmaster. Red got 3 as the Journeyman over here. And, of course, so they just split the 6 in half. Okay, so blue for your last action. We'll do a repeat. We'll do a repeat. Let's get you your influence markers as well. In fact, let's get you a monster too. Although you can only, I'm not sure it helps you get the sea serpent. Because, again, he doesn't really have many places to go. But what the hell? Sure. Or is this just silly? What the heck? So we'll bring the sea serpent to the only location it can, well, it could come into the river. So maybe it would make sense for him to bring it here so that it helps offset Red's behemoth a little bit. Yeah, let's do that. So that's now Blue's sea serpent. And now we're moving into the nourished ponds phase. So I think Pink's okay. Yeah. Red. Yeah, he's all right. But I have to get rid of his archery butt, don't I? Yeah, he has no other source. All right, so let's exchange that for a food. And as usual, Blue has plenty of food, so we'll just pay with all food. Of course, the monsters don't need to be fed. They eat people. Okay, so we did get to the dawn of Epoch IV. Oh, Pink did lose that. Yeah, I couldn't feed. Or no, wait. No, Pink was okay. So Pink did get 3 extra points here. So he scored 13. Red scored 16, because Red's a journeyman here, a guildmaster, and a journeyman down here. So he has 2 guildmasters, 2 journeymans, and then Blue also. So Blue only got 13, 5, 5, and 3. Red got 5, 5, 3, 3, because Red's in 4 places. Pink got 5, 5, and 3 as well. So a little bit of a boost for Red there. Active regions, pretty much the same as we've seen, maybe a little bit better. Pink and Blue both in 4 regions, and Red only in the middle of the board in 2 regions. Okay, so let's see if we can get ourselves to Epoch V here. Red, I'm going to have you do another influence now that you have your influence markers. Better do a harvest to make sure you get some food, and a guild and a repeat. Okay, Blue, you got plenty of your saltpeter, so we'll do a move and an influence, a guild and a repeat, and improve. And Pink, also do a move and an influence. You need food badly, so let's do a harvest and a guild repeat. I was thinking of maybe a defend, but a defend basically is something that just sits in your hand because you think you're going to get have somebody do a conqueror against you. All right, Red, where are we going to start with you? Let's have you do an influence and take over rule of this forest, of this farm rather, in the forest. So now by adding another influence marker, you've bumped Blue out. So now Blue is the serf, and you are the ruler with a subject. So you've got a pretty strong position here. Now, how's Blue going to react to this? Well, I was going to have Blue do an improve, but maybe Blue should just tend to landscape now that he's got a serf. Sure, we haven't done that yet. So let's do an improve. We'll tend this orchard with the surf right here, and the only place that he can put the landscape. Now, if he takes the food, he doesn't need it, but if he took it, he'd score 2 fewer points for this landscape at Dawn of Epic Scoring. By leaving the food on there, he will score 4 points instead. So no reason to take it. And if he did take it, he'd have to give 1 to red anyway. So he's going to decline that. Okay, pink. Oh yeah, we need you to harvest. So we need you to do a move. And we're going to bring this guy over to here. And then we're going to bring this up to here. Just stop there. Red. Okay, so now red can do a harvest because he has control of that farm. And go right there. He's going to harvest with... oh, he picked up a food. That was his kickback. Otherwise, he got a sulfur, 2 irons, a wood, and a saltpeter as goods harvested around that farm. Okay, blue. Let's have blue threaten, but not in the way red expected him to threaten. Let's have blue do a move and bring his farmer down here and up here, threatening this red feudum. So now red's going to have to do something to strengthen his rule there. In the meantime, it's pink's turn. Oh yeah, so we're just going to influence here so we can ultimately harvest and get some food. And I think that's it. So continue. Red is going to do a guild action. We can push from the merchant to the alchemist. So we can push a wood to get that row completed. A couple iron to get the second row completed. And so that's only 2 rows. Let's throw in a saltpeter. So that should be good for 5 points for red. And we're back to blue. And let's have him continue the threat. So he's going to influence at this feudum, threatening to overtake it. Unless red does something. Hopefully, I may not be considering all the viable options here, so maybe these are all stupid moves, but I am trying to get us to the end of the game. Continue. Pink. So now you can harvest with kickbacks. Oh, you got a food. Wow, you can't beat that, because it could have been any one of these goods. So that was good luck there on the part of both of those harvests. Both players needing food badly. Red will do his repeat. Guild. See if we can get a couple more points on the board. All right, so we'll push. And we'll push that one. And that should be good for 6 points and 2. No, just 6. He doesn't have any reaves. So 97 to 103. Blue. I guess we're going to sell your goods. So let's do guild at the farm. Obviously right here. And you have plenty of food. I think for now we'll just take it all in money. Because you do get a point for every 3 showings at the end of the game. Okay, pink. Guild action. We need to get you at least 1 king seal. That's all you can afford. But we wanted to get these 9 points. So we're going to trade here and grab a king seal. And we can't afford a second, so that's that. Blue, repeat, guild. We could do a pull. Push at the night. Oh yeah, push at the night would get us 5 points. Okay, so we're going to do a push from the night. Get rid of one of these and one of these. Make 2 king seals. And all we're going to be able to do is complete 1 row. Good for 4 points. Pink. Repeat. Guild, I guess, just for points. Let's do a pull from the... Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong guild. If we did a pull at the merchant, well, it's worth a couple points. Let's do a pull at the merchant. And an iron, it's pretty good. And a wood. That's 3 points and a royal writ. This is pretty good for you, but you're not going to have the king seal for it. You could do this to get add 1 barrels with it. It's going to give you 1. You don't really need this. You've got a full row of influence markers. I'm just going to take this, but I don't think I'm going to be able to use it. Okay, so we didn't force it to the end of the game, but we have a 50-50 shot at the end of the game if one of these Epoch IV tiles gets removed during the progress die phase. Let's see. Let's get to pink. Pink, you're going to lose a pawn. You only have 1 food. This I can get rid of this for 2 food, but you got 3 pawns on the board. We're going to have to give up this guy. Sorry. Wasn't paying attention. No. And that's the guy. Oh, wait. Pink's okay? Did I miscalculate? Maybe somebody was being fed with wine there. Pink. So that gave me 2 food. No, 1 of your pawns did come off the board. I probably did something stupid there, but I think blue's going to run away with this game the way it's looking. So, blue, you got plenty of food. I'm going to cancel. Hopefully, yep, that's it. That's the end of the game, because now we got a 5 tile showing. So we do end of Dawn of Epic scoring for Epoch V. And I just kind of really screwed Pink here. So now Pink's only scoring 8 points. I'm sorry, Pink. But I don't think you had a chance anyway. Blue got 4 points for that landscape. But now we hit continue and we go into endgame scoring. So probably Blue's going to kill. Oh. So yeah, Blue, this was a waste for Blue. It had... But it was the choice of 2 actions, and so you only have 1 king seal, so we're going to seal the Western Kingdom one, which should get you 9 points. And blue, yeah, nothing, and red didn't have any royal writs. I think blue's going to, yeah, blue did run away with it pretty much with 161 points. So endgame scoring. Epic Voyage track, blue gets 5 points here for just being in the lead in section 1, and of course pink got 17 points for getting all the way to the top of the track, but that wasn't going to be enough. Although it was enough to get him into 2nd place, but we could never have gotten him to beat blue. So when you're calculating empires, you basically get a point for everything you rule, and you get up 3 points for every triplet you have, where feudums can be wild. So effectively, Pink has what? 6 outposts that he rules, 2 farms that he rules, and a town. Pink rules 2 farms? Yeah. So that's 9, because that's 6 plus 2 plus 1. And then he did have 6 outposts, so that's good for, that's basically 2 triplets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, and this one over here, 6. Oh, I was worried about him giving up 3 points, but Red has, he really didn't do much. He has 1 farm that he rules, 3 feudums, good for 10 points because feudums are worth 3, and basically scored for a set of 3 farms because the feudums can act as wild. So you can either treat it as a set of 3 feudums or a set of 3 farms. My program just treated it as a set of 3 farms. It's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. It's 3 points, either way you look at it. Blue rules 6 farms, so that's going to be 6 points and another 6 for 2 sets of 3. As I said, you get a point for every 3 shillings. Pink only had 1 shilling. Red had 21 shillings, good for 7 points. Blue got 6 points on 20 shillings. And the only person who had a royal writ was Pink for 9. So Blue won the game with 161 to 148 to 146. And that pretty much does it. So are there any morals here? Well, I think it's safe to say that Blue ran away with this, not specifically because he just ruled a lot of farms, but because he ruled farms. And he harvested so much that he never had a problem with food, and he probably rarely had a problem with saltpeter. So he probably took far more actions than anybody else, because he basically took, I bet he took, more often than not, took 5 actions per round, because he always had a pretty good steady supply of saltpeter coming in. For Red's part, I basically got him, I screwed him up with his food supply. I never really expanded him beyond the middle of the board. I know when I'm playing, I try to be at least the guild master in one of these guilds. And then probably you're going to have to give up the other one to another player. But it just so happened by the end of the game that Red was able to grab both of these guilds. But for the most part, I think these are the 2 most important guilds. Just getting a supply of goods from the Merchant Guild and the Alchemist Guild so the Alchemist can build ships and keep everybody happy with a steady supply of influence markers. That's just my off-the-cuff opinion. As far as Pink's game was concerned, he went for the 17 points, but beyond that, Pink really did have a pretty decent game, but he was so busy moving and repeat moving that he never had that steady supply of saltpeter that Blue had, and he never had a steady supply of food. So I think that hurt him in the end. Anyway, hope you enjoyed watching this. Like I said, this was not a typical game because I think it's more important that when you're really playing this game, you're really considering what are your opponents up to, what are you going to do in response to that, as opposed to this game where I basically gave each of the 3 players 3 goals to achieve, and pretty much, for the most part, they ignored everybody else because I was too busy focusing on them, and therefore, Pink just did the same thing over and over again, repeat move, repeat move. And Blue, because he had so much saltpeter, did a lot of guild repeat. And Red basically just focused on feudums and making sure that he could get on the military service track. So, hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching, everybody. At least you came away with what it's like in general to play this game. And thanks for watching. Bye-bye.